Hello and welcome to the channel. I've got something special here today. This is a new classic UO shard. Just opened up and it's called UO 1998. So on the website here, step back in time and experience Ultima Online as it was meant to be. UO 1998 is a faithful recreation of the original UO experience, and it uses the original 1.2535 client from 1998. So they've meticulously crafted a server that reflects era-accurate gameplay based on the code from the UO demo, and that's before the introduction of T2A. So this is, much like the UO Second Age server that I play on, this is a museum. So era accuracy, basically above all. You'll be cutting your bandages one at a time. Um, the difference is there's another UO origin server that's basically pre-T2A, but you can use classic UO and Razor and stuff on that one. On this one, you're stuck with the original client and any old assistants that were around back then. So no Razor, nothing fancy, no macros like that. Um, Super simple website here, just instructions how to get in, get the installer here, and join the Discord. And so the installer actually comes with a UO plugin. That's the version from 1998. It just adds a couple quality of life things, nothing too crazy. And if you choose to install that with the installer, then it'll put a shortcut on your desktop called UO 1998, and this is what it brings up.
During the earliest span of the Age of Darkness, found in the writings of only the most aged of manuscripts, lived a world born of mystic arts and ancient sorcery, Sosaria. Despite Sosaria's enchanted origins, its people shunned magic, for its very use corrupted the souls of the unwary. But one man dared to awake the slumbering powers of alchemy, twisting the awesome power of the Gem of Immortality to his will and binding all of Sosaria to his corruption. Mundane, the wizard. His power was absolute, as the whole of the planet was gripped in his cruel embrace. Only the appearance of a stranger saved Sosaria from impending destruction. From whence he came, no one knows, but his strength and courage were without peer. In this stranger lay Sosaria's only hope. Only a traveler from the stars could release this world from Mundane's vile stranglehold. He would prove himself a savior, shattering the Gem of Immortality and defeating Mundane. But a deeper and more sinister evil was released with the destruction of the gem. For Sosaria was not free of the stone's power. The planet was still bound to the jewel's magic even as it lay shattered upon the floor of Mundane's castle. For within each shattered remnant of the jewel dwelled a perfect likeness of Sosaria. Thus is the world in which you are born, live, and die. Britannia that was once Caesarea now exists as 1,000 worlds, each with its own peoples, history, and destiny. This Britannia is but one of many in the multiverse that is Ultima Online.
Alright, and there you go. So they did get the original intro video working. I know that was a pain for them. So the first thing we do here is open the treasure chest and enter Britannia. And this is where you create your account. You just put in anything and it'll make your account. So I'm just going to hide the window for that. Alright, and here we go. So this video is just going to be kind of going over the client here and how I've got it set up on a modern system here. First off, the display size. I have shrunk my display down from 1080p to I'm using 1176 by 664. You could use 1280 by 720 is a good one as well. I just got a little bit smaller, makes the game window just that little bit bigger. And to get the full screen effect here, I downloaded a program called Windowed Borderless Gaming, and I'll put a link down in the description for that. But basically, you can just add a window. It sits in your tray, and you tell it to add window, and come over here and click real quick with F3. Yeah, and so I did that. I'll send it over, but it's actually, you have to tell it the size of your window, and I've set my desktop to the 1176 by 664, but it's still sending the signal at 1080p. So there's a setting in the app here. Go to game settings, and you can tell it the size, and you just put 1920 by 1080 and apply to this game, and send it back over again, and yeah, here we go. It should be a full window. Yeah, you can just drag this guy. Doesn't want to drag verify an account. There we go. So this is where you can create your character. There we go. So now we've got the full thing. We can create our new character here. This is all, 1.0 version here. So we're going to go ahead and make our noob character if we want to continue with this later on. I guess you have to put your password in to make the character. I'm not sure if this is required or not, but I'll put it in anyway, and we'll start with maybe not max strength. Could start with a couple extra decks in my recollection, so that if you run into a cat or something, you don't just stop and run out of stamina right away. But dex and intelligence are pretty easy to gain. And for our skills here, well, this is old school. We're gonna do it the old school way. We're gonna start with majory and resisting spells, and at 50 each. I think that's probably the way to go with this character, because we can, do a little bit of macroing to get, Provo and music up. So let's just continue. So wow, here, it's been a long time since we've seen this character creator. Let's see, hairstyle. They're all still here. Got to do the page boy with a short beard. Something like that. Continue. So city, of course we're going to start at the Sweet Dreams Inn. Hit done. We've got some basic actions here telling you how to move around. And we'll click the UO button. And here we are. So I do have the UO plugin here. And so I'll bring that up just so you can see what's in here. It's not a lot. So show incoming hit points, auto spell disarm is handy. Show incoming humans, also handy in corpses. Show deeds, I saw somebody placed a boat and this made it so they couldn't see the boat, sides of the boat, so maybe turn that off. I'm not quite sure on the fast loot. Maybe that means you can double click stuff. I'm not sure what the fast walk does. You can filter your weather and your light and stuff. I like to leave those off. And this enables a couple hotkeys. I believe it's in insert and delete or target self and last target, and then arm and disarm or page up, page down. And I don't think you can change those, not easily at least. And you can tell it what you want to arm and disarm. Some options here to, I guess, change what you look like in the game maybe, or make ghost form. And it has a basic reg counter. From my experience, the regs have to be in your top bag for it to count them, and it also counts arrows and bolts. Yeah, so this is a old version here. So that's UO plugin, and if we're here, got all of our basic old hotkeys. So Alt P opens the paper doll. There's no bar up here, to open your stuff. Alt J does the journal. Alt K for your skills, and you can make a new group here. Oh, yeah, looks like my old group was still here from my old beta testing character, and that's the thing. All these settings for this client, they stick with all your characters. So I guess if you wanted to have separate settings, you would have to have a separate install for each character. And we've got somebody else that's popped up on top of us here. So yeah, this is what I had on my other character. So I'm going to probably do something similar. You can do major. You don't need evaluate intelligence. You don't need anatomy. Healing is kind of weak. You don't need animal lore. So yeah, very, very basic. So you can add lots of different skills to your build. So like we've got empty spellbook here. And we got some people here. Let's just say hello. And I said I wasn't going to start playing in this video, so I just kind of wanted to go over the options and stuff. But you can click on people, and basically you want to set an all names. So I did that before. Here's the options. The macros are here. Yeah, you have to go through all of them. And one of the most important ones here is all names. So, and I've set that to tilde key. It's just what I've always had it. Because with this client, you can drag people's bars, but they always show up gray on the bars, but their names will be the notoriety. But you can't target on the bars. You have to target either in the game or on the names. You can click on the names. So that's the main way of targeting things in this client is using the names. Nameplate, I guess, whatever it is. In here, we've got the music, the sound, footsteps, pop-ups, change the font. I like the old school font. Input colors, and run mouse separate thread, pathfinding, hold tab, offset your windows, and assume play as ghost when resurrecting, because in this era you could actually insta-res with like a skill and stat loss. So many a noob, fell victim to that, losing their skills by insta-resing. So assume to play as ghost. And here's the display stuff, and I messed with this for quite a while trying to get the full screen to work, and I couldn't get it on my system, but I'm sure other people can. But yeah, I just used the whatever it's called, windowed borderless gaming app to remove the bar, and having it in the 16:9 ratio here. I mean, it gives me lots of space to put, your paper doll and your journal on the side and stuff, and your bars around, and eventually, like, there we go, get your heel out so you can double click that. Yeah, so query, this is the notoriety system, or I guess they call it reputation system. So there's no karma. It's just a single axis up and down. So you're innocent, and you can become a lord. But if you do criminal acts, you'll become gray, and you can become perma-gray, and you can become a murderer if your karma, I guess, or notoriety drops too far. So yeah, much different than, the karma and fame system. I mean, you can become perma-gray just by training snooping. So you could, a couple more options. Show the intro movie, show the chest animation, set your circle of transparency radius, and filter obscenity. So yeah, there is a circle transparency. Let's see, did I set? So yeah, I've got open door, yellow bank, and all names. I haven't even set a circle transparency, so I usually do tilde with control. And oh, is it even in here? Yes, I don't see making a hotkey for circle transparency. So yeah, looks like you have to actually go into the option and say use circle of transparency in order to use the circle of transparency. So yeah, but you can kind of see, there's not no smooth 60 FPS here. This is your old school, whatever it was, 12, 14 FPS. But everybody's on the same page, right? So here's somebody who's gone gray from snooping, maybe dishonorable science, maybe from cutting up the body. Somebody invisible there. And there's the bank. So we can throw our stuff in the bank. It's not easy to grab stuff and drag it around. It takes some getting used to, for sure. Oh, we got a second heal spell. That's nice. But yeah, a lot of fun happening on here because this is a freshly launched server. You know, in the Discord, everybody's talking about, oh, looking for this scroll. Who's got a mark scroll? You know, who's got recall scrolls to add to our books. People are going on boats to mark runes on the island cities. You know, it's proper beginning of a server. So I think that's all I'm going to do for this one. And got somebody playing the harp next to us. But yeah, maybe I'll start a series doing this one. Not sure, you know, just something different, something cool. Usually my space bar, I have to hit Alt space bar there. So yeah. Oh, don't even sit down on the stools. What about the benches? Can we sit? There we go. All right, well, thanks for checking out this museum piece, basically, this old school client. And I hope to see you around the server.